Hi guys, it's Anne here, and today's video is my Pan That Palette for 2020 update number 5. So I've been doing a palette for the year of 2020, but I've also been doing a monthly palette roulette. Well, I've been calling it a palette roulette, but it's really more of a monthly shop my stash, and I've been picking some other palettes or eyeshadows to use, and I've kind of incorporated a face palette into that as well. So how I do this video is I'll do an update for my Pan That palette. I will review the palettes and eyeshadows that I picked for the previous month, and then I will introduce the palettes that I'm going to use for the upcoming month. So let's just get started. The palette that I'm using for my Pan That palette is the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in Warm Neutrals, and I did hit pan on a third shade, so I think I called this in my last video. The shade, this one right here, is the one that I hit pan on that I was expecting to. To be honest, I was also expecting to hit pan on a couple of the other shades, like this one. Did not do that. So what I'm actually going to do for the month of June is I'm playing a little game. I realize it's kind of like a tic-tac-toe board or a little chess board or checkers board, but I'm going to focus on, maybe it's more like a bingo. I'm going to focus on the corners because I feel like I'm close to hitting pan on this one. This one has a pretty good dent in it, and so does this one. And I might as well just throw this one in because it just makes it even. I need it to be even. So I feel like I'll be slightly mad if I actually hit pan on this tomorrow because I feel like I'm that close on hitting pan on this one. But yeah, we'll see how it goes for the month of June. I definitely think I'll hit pan on at least one of them. It'll be nice if I hit pan on 2 of them. I'd love to have a month where I hit pan on 2 shadows, get a 2-for-1 month. So the update on the weight of the palette, the previous month it was 99.97 grams. This past month it is 99.67 grams. So that's only a difference of 0.3 grams. It's actually my second worst month. January was the worst month. I kind of knew that because I did take a break from this a little bit more this month, and I did use my other palettes a little bit more. I kind of had a lot, and I just wanted to play with my other palettes. So I also had 3 days this month where I didn't wear makeup, and that's like the longest consecutive row of days that I did not wear makeup since quarantine has started. So that definitely affected the usage of my products, although it was kind of nice to have that break because when I went back to my Pan That palette as well as my Project Pan, I kind of felt a little refreshed and a little renewed. Even just 3 days was enough to like give me a nice little break to get back into it. Recapping May's shadows, I'm just going to go through the single shadows first. So the first one is this Almay Velvet Foil Cream Shadow in the shade Astro Girl. I think I wore this in a video. I'm not sure. I wore this a few times. I do like this. This is one of those products that if I had less eyeshadows, I would probably use this more. I would prefer if I had a different color. I remember when I bought this, this was like really the only color. I think there was like this one and like a blue one, or just there was another color that was definitely one that I didn't think I would use, so I picked this one up. I picked this up because of Jessica Braun. I remember her doing an Almay video, and this was like one of the few products that I think she enjoyed in that video. Did I really need to buy this? No. But it's nice. It's, again, a nice, easy one and done. And I actually enjoyed layering this with other eyeshadows, which I was surprised. I didn't know if it would work well that way, but it actually does. And the product that I kind of used with it most often was this NYX pigment in the shade Luna. It has the number PIG11. This again is like that iridescent color shifting type shadow. This has more of a blue shift to it. I'm actually wearing it today, but I don't know how well it's showing up. It's just on the inner corner of my eye. So yeah, I like to play with this one. I mean, this pigment is huge. It's gonna last. This will be around after I die. Like this, there's so much pigment in here, but it's a nice little color if you like that iridescent sort of shimmer, and it's got that bluey purple shift. And then the third single shadow that I use is this little Annabelle metallic. They call it metallic, but I still think it's more of a satin. It's really not that metallic compared to other metallic shadows that I have. And it's in the shade Over the Taupe. I bought this last year in my search for my perfect taupe eyeshadow, which I actually found this year with the NARS shadow, so this one's a bit of a wah-wah for me. I mean, it's fine, the product is fine, but it's not great. Like, if I could go back in time, I would probably not buy this. I'm not going to talk about these two in depth. These were carryovers from April. I just felt like in April I didn't use them as much as I had wanted to. So this is the Nude Light palette from Huda Beauty. And then these are a bunch of singles, mostly from Cleona, and then I think a couple, one from NYX, and then a couple or two from NYX, and one random Maybelline one. So yeah, I definitely got to use these a bit more. I felt a bit more like, okay, I've used these, I'm ready to move on. The next palette I want to talk about is the Too Faced White Peach palette. I'm wearing this one today. I just wanted a really neutral eyeshadow look, so I'm just wearing this one, which is Peach Cream, and then this one, which is Fuzzy. I tend to stick to like all these shades, and I sort of ignore these two, and I did try and use these two, and they look terrible on me. I think it's just a shade thing. Just orange shades do not work well with my skin tone. They just don't. But yeah, I enjoyed using this palette. It's just a nice, easy matte shades that you can use. And then there's a couple shimmers in there that you can sort of play up a look with. Another palette that I picked for the month was this Butter London palette. This is the Natural Goddess palette. People will recognize this from BoxyCharm. Again, I used every shadow, but this one, I kind of forgot to use that one, and then time just ran out. It's fine. The shadows in this perform okay. They're nothing exceptional, but they're not bad either. Would I have purchased this palette on my own? Probably not. The last eyeshadow palette that I picked for the month of May was the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. I really enjoy this palette. It's one of those, for me, it's a very underrated palette. I know a lot of people don't like this. It's a bit more cool toned. The packaging is a bit kitsch. Again, the heart shape, I'm like, meh, whatevs. But I just really like this. The shadows performed really well. The colors suit me. Yeah, I think this palette is the reason why I didn't use my Pan That palette as much, because I felt like I wanted to keep using this one. So yeah, I enjoyed using this one quite a bit this month. And then I did pick this little face palette. This is the Cheek Leaders Mini Pink Squad palette from Benefit. It's got a blush. This is kind of like a blush highlight, and then this is a highlight, and it was just nice. It was nice to use this to take a break from my Project Pan blush, which I'm wearing today, or use it in conjunction with it just to change up the look a little bit. So yeah, it was nice, just nice to have this to use. That is everything for my May palette. So now let's talk about what I'm going to introduce for the month of June. I'm keeping it fairly low on the palettes, and I have a bunch of singles, so we'll talk about that. So let's talk about the singles. So I think I had this in previous months. This is the ColourPop single shadow in Birthday Wish. It was from their fourth year. Mine's a bit smashed, so I don't think I can, I don't know, maybe you can see that. That's how it came to me, so kind of disappointed, but I pulled this out again because I know I need to keep using this one. I'm probably going to have to declutter it at the end of this year because I know these get dry, and it's just, I need to use it because otherwise I'll just lose it, if that makes sense. I picked this weird little, I shouldn't say weird little, but just quad that I would not normally use, and for that reason, because I would not normally use this, and I want to try and use this. This is from, I hate this packaging, give me a second. This is from the eyeshadow kit that I bought last year in December, the little Christmas kit, and these are just shades that I normally don't wear, and I want to force myself to play with them and see if I like them, see if I can make it work in a way that is maybe a bit more wearable, because this just does not look wearable. I might not do a look with all of these together, but maybe incorporate them with some other shadows. I don't know the order of the videos and how they'll go up, but in my monthly buy video, I bought the Vizier Petite Pro 2 palette, so because I just bought it, I want to play with it more. I did already play with it in May, so again, probably another reason why I didn't use my Pan That palette that much. But yeah, this is just the little Petite Pro 4 palette. So in my monthly buys video, I actually have swatches of this as well, so I'm not going to swatch this one here. I've also pulled out this Essence Metal Shock eyeshadow. It's a liquid eyeshadow in the shade 1 Second to Mars. So I really like this one. This is like a really peachy pink shade. I don't know, it's really pretty. I think I like these more. I mean, I don't have a lot of the Stila ones. I've only used a couple, but I really, really like this. I think it's definitely comparable, if not better. I mean, I shouldn't say better. I did a review comparing them, and the shades are just different. So if you like the shades in this, they're definitely worth buying. So yeah, I'm excited to pull this out and play with it again, because I don't think I've used this in like a year. This is a weird random single eyeshadow I have. I don't even know the shade of this. It's a powder shadow, but it's in this like weird container. It's from Bare Minerals. It's sort of like a goldy color, but it has that like green sort of old gold undertone to it. little swatch there on my hand. So hopefully you can see that. So it's gold, but it's got like that green undertone to it. So it's a little different. And yeah, I always forget about this. I rarely use it, so it's time to pull it out and use it. I've also decided to pull out my Nude Sticks shadow. So again, I'm not going to go into major detail with these or swatch them, but because I have a whole video if you're really curious to see the swatches. But the shades that I have are Pink, Seychelles, Praia, Rustic, Grotto, and Marooned. So yeah, 3 of them are in the Magnetic Luminous eye color, and then 1 is the Magnetic Matte. So again, I have barely used these, I think, since that video. So I need to use these. And then because I definitely picked way too much last month, I decided to only pick 1 palette for this month, and I picked this Color Story Kaleidoscope video. Again, palette. Why I said video is because, again, I did an entire video on this palette, so if you really want to see what these shades look like, you can see them in that video. This is one of those palettes where what you see in the pan is not necessarily what you get on your eye. It's not bad. The formula is not bad. It's not great, but I bought it just mainly out of curiosity, so I might as well try and use it as much as possible. This is always one of those palettes, like, if I ever do a declutter, this is potentially a palette that I would declutter, because again, I don't love it, but I mean, it is unique. It's different than any other palette that I have, so just looking forward to playing with it a bit more this month. And then I did pick 1 face palette. This is the Cover FX face palette, Perfector face palette in light medium. Again, a lot of people will recognize this if they had BoxyCharm, because this came in a BoxyCharm. Pretty sure I did a review on this when I received it. I think in that BoxyCharm video, I think I did a demo and a review, and it's really nice. It's a really good palette. I really enjoyed using it then. Again, I feel like I've barely used it since I got it, so I want to make sure I use it a bit more. I clearly still have the sticker on the mirror as well. Interesting. Anyway, so that's it. That's my Pan That Palette update number 5 for 2020, and my review of my May palettes, as well as the introduction of my June palettes. If you like this video, feel free to give it a little thumbs up down below, and if you haven't already, I would love it if you did subscribe to my tiny little channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well. Have a fabulous day, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.